Amazing to finally meet you, man.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about you, and yeah, it's great to meet you.
Awesome. What have you heard? What have my employees been telling you, man? Nah.
That you get the job done, that you're
Oh, dude, always.
working hard.
I love it, Ben. But yeah, I remember you came to us not that many days ago, right? You were
Mhm.
sent over by Sean Adams. Is that correct?
I think it was might have been Andrew.
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew, yep.
Nice. How do you know him?
I guess through other business aspects, networking. So
All right, man. Well, like I said, this is recorded. Just be completely honest with me. I want to hear the good. I
yeah.
want to hear the bad. What can we improve? All that stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Chris Reeves, senior. I'm in the e-commerce space. I've been doing that for a couple months now. Difficulties at the beginning, finding funding for my business since it was a brand new business. So one of my networking buddies reached out to me and just let me know what your team has done for him and for others in the past. And he kind of downloaded a lot of information on me, like as far as business credit is concerned and just how important it is to have your business be seen in the eyes of, different bureaus, having great history, having, all these good items listed about your business so that you can get funding and get business credit. As far as the path through getting the business credit, I started out with, I guess, on the journey, so to speak, a decent credit score, and that's what your employees were telling me. So that was good. The only problem was I had a little bit of low credit established or accounts open. I had details as far as loans, different loan ratios and stuff like that. Basically, they said that they're gonna help me and get me the relationships I need with various banks. So that's what they went down this huge spreadsheet of all the information on my business and my information, and just showing me how important it is to have the relationships with several different banks so that when I do get funding or look for funding, then it's easily accessible. So that was one of the things they looked at, is getting me these accounts open, helping me to establish those relationships and working through that process so that I can move from the sole proprietorship over to the actual my business getting the business funding. So I think we're kind of getting through the tier one of funding, and I'm still working through that and kind of getting some rejections, but I have to kind of shape up my credit a little bit better. And once I get through that, then we should be able to finish with tier one of funding and then hopefully move on to tier two.
Yes, funding is absolutely crucial for that because the more capital you have, the more you're able to buy an inventory, have it rotating instead of having to wait for a payout. You have cash reserves. And actually, one of the things that we got for you, I'm jumping ahead real quick right here, but I know we got you the Plum card. Can help you out with those things because the Plum card gives you 60 days instead of 30 days to be able to pay it off. So super excited for you there, and we've been seeing some good results. I will get to those in a second, but going back before we even helped you out, before like securing the funding through our service, like were there other challenges that you were facing with your business, and did you try doing something else before you ever met us or heard about us, or did you just struck gold and you just first time you did something about it, it was us?
Yeah, so the challenges I faced was using my personal banks, the ones that I've normally had relationships with. And so thankfully they were able to give me some funding and able to get me started at least on that journey of, getting inventory, building my e-commerce business.
Right.
But it was only so much. And then once that was used up, kind of with e-commerce, it's kind of hit or miss sometimes. Some things get delayed, some things get put on hold. And so you have to go through that cycle and
Man, don't tell
just
me payouts. Walmart or Amazon decide like, oh, we're gonna put a pause on this payout for a few weeks or whatever.
yes.
I've seen it all, man. It's horrible.
Yeah, so going through that and just not knowing, okay, where's my business going to go? Because I have these projections and goals that I want to meet, but with limited funding, I was kind of like in a limbo. So it's just like a holding pattern and waiting till things get released or waiting until I receive more funding. Which I think I talked to my bank and they said it's going to be 6 months until you can get established before we can give you more funding or give you more, increase your limit or that kind of thing on capital. So this has kind of been catalyst in changing the way I look at my business and establishing the capital and credit so that I can utilize other capital from other, I guess, streams, so to speak, and to be able to grow my business instead of having to wait on my personal side or original
Right.
bank.
So when the banks look at a credit profile, they look at them at certain lengths of term. The first one is 3 months look back period. So they have a thing called the 24-month look back period. For the last 24 months, which is 2 years, they take a look at your borrow behaviors. What type of behaviors do you are you exhibiting when borrowing money, right? Within those 24 months, they have different sections. The longer you've been exhibiting a certain behavior, the more of a reinforced behavior that it is. For example, if you've been paying on time for the last 2 years, that's a really good reinforced behavior, right? If I were to tell you, hey, I played the trumpet and I started yesterday. You'll be like, well, that's not a behavior yet. But if I would tell you, hey, I play and practice in trumpet every single day for the last 2 years, then man, Eddie's committed. Eddie is practicing, he's committed. That's a behavior that now he exhibits, right? So same
Yep.
thing with your borrow behavior that you're exhibiting on a daily day basis or a month-to-month basis to the credit bureaus. We're going to talk about this in a second, what
Mhm.
happened with your accounts. But one of the reasons that you said you got a few denials is because I saw it right now on the spreadsheet and the notes of the reasons of why you got denied. It's either because you didn't have a relationship with that bank, and even though you have an amazing credit score, just having the score is not the end all be all. You don't get approved with a credit score. You get approved by the borrow behaviors, and also if you have a relationship with the lenders. Remember, at the end of the day, so for example, let me put you in a situation like this. If somebody comes knocking on your door right now during this interview and goes like, hey Chris, you don't know me, but I need to borrow $10,000. Can I let you borrow $10,000? I'll pay you back on Friday. You'll be like, get out of my house, right? I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know who the hell you are. But if it's someone you love, you trust, you've known them for years, they have a good character, you've done business with them, or like they pay people back, right? Let's say it's your mom, your dad, or something you really truly care about. You've done them, you've known them like your whole life, right? You have a great
Yep.
relationship with them, then you're more likely to at least listen to them out, right? You're at least
Yep.
willing to listen to them. Same thing with the banks. Banks are here to make money. Lending money is a high risk business. Like the banks don't like lending to high risk businesses, but they are a high
Mhm.
risk business themselves because they
Right.
got to lend money to make money, right? But they have to reduce the risk by vetting you out, by knowing who you are, what's your character, all that stuff, right? Because at the end of the day, even though you're a small, like they're lending to a business, it's a small business. If Chris wasn't involved, right? If you decided to leave your business will die because it won't be self-sustained, right? So they got to know,
Mhm.
hey, how's your character, how's this? And then the other reason, so besides not having a relationship, I saw the other reason was too many new accounts open in the last X amount of months, right?
Right.
So expanding too fast as well in the most recent times. So what I always tell people, like, hey, as soon as you turn 18, expand as fast as possible and then stop and then just don't touch that again, right? Because then you build like 3 to 5 solid relationships on your personal side, like for personal credits or the
Mhm.
credit card section, and then you don't touch those again, so that by the time you're like 20, 23, 25, and you're starting to open a business and stuff like that, you already have like 6 years, 7 years of credit card history just showing up there, and then you're getting approvals here left and right. We'll keep going there. I hope does that answer your questions and everything that happened to you?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, perfect.